AITA for telling my daughter that I won't be attending her wedding? My daughter, who is 27, is getting married in August. She hasn't invited my wife or our children. I'm very hurt, and I told her that since my family wasn't welcome, I shouldn't be welcome too. She was angry with me and has called me crying, saying that I'm in awe for doing this to her since. Who is going to walk her down the aisle? My daughter was a happy child until she was 13 and her mom and I divorced. She was devastated and we did everything from therapy etc. She couldn't fathom what was going on since we were a happy family. I met my beautiful wife 4 years later and it was the second blow to her, since she lived with the hope that her mom and I would reconcile. She never liked my wife even with the effort from the later to have a relationship. Now my wife and our small children aren't welcome to her wedding. Everyone else is invited, including her mom's new BF and his sons. She told me that she was free to invite whoever she wanted on her big day, and I totally agree with her and support her decision, but then shouldn't I also be free to decline the invitation? Why am I being the here? Info. Why the divorce if you were such a happy family? I feel like there's not enough information here to make a judgment because it seems there is more to the story. I don't think it matters who the asshole is. I think this is about what kind of relationship you want with your daughter going forward. NTA. Your daughter is finding out at the young age of 27 that actions have consequences, and based off of your comments, this boundary has been a long time coming. You've done the best you can. Info. Who's funding the wedding? Is mom basically dictating this move? Shouldn't I also be free to decline the invitation? Quote, an invitation is not a summons. NTA for not going. She never gave your wife and kids a chance, but she accepted her mom's new BF and his kids into her life. Further, she spitefully chose to not invite them to her wedding. You don't owe her a walk down the aisle. Hey, mom's new BF can do it, right? If anyone asks why you didn't come, tell them the full truth. Your wife and kids weren't invited. NTA based on the facts presented. The fact that she invited her mom's boyfriend and his kids clearly indicates that she isn't attempting to avoid drama by only inviting her birth parents. Rather, she has invited her mom's new family and specifically excluded yours, since you have attempted to explain this and she drew the line in the sand. Your decision to support your wife and kids is the correct one. NTA. NTA. Why does mom's boyfriend and kids get an invite but your wife and kids do not? Makes no sense. Info. Do you realize that if you don't work something out with your daughter, this is likely the end of your relationship? Is your plan to try to mend things or to simply wash your hands of her? NTA. Your daughter is clearly blaming you for the divorce. I saw in a comment your wife is the one that originally wanted to divorce. Now she has no issue with her mom's boyfriend and kids if they are invited. It seems like she is resentful of the fact that you moved on and remarried 4 years later. This shows a lack of maturity that she hasn't gotten over this even at 27. Especially since all you did was remarry someone who wasn't her mother. Sounds like she has some major issues she needs to work on. Info. Why do your daughter and wife not get along? NTA. A person who fails to invite both halves of a couple should not be surprised when one half of the couple doesn't show. NTA. Yes, you are free to decline the invitation, especially when your ex, her BF and his children are invited. NTA. 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 If the wedding were child-free, I could understand not inviting your younger children, but that is clearly not the case. If your ex didn't get the +1 of her current so, again I would understand. But that is not the case. Your daughter has essentially said, Mom is allowed to have a new life and family. But you are not. For all those who talk about the damage to the relationship if you don't go, they should think about the damage your grown-ass daughter is doing all by herself. You are not there to be her emotional punching bag and puppet. Attending the wedding without your family simply says that you allow her to dictate your life and disrespect your current family. She doesn't have the right to do that unless you give it to her. Your daughter is playing a game of double standards. It's okay for mom's new BF and kids to come, but not your new wife and kids? She can invite whoever she wants, but her decision to exclude also has consequences. You are not the AH for doing this to her. She's doing it to herself. She's clearly made her choice about who her family is, but seems to want the best of both worlds, all of her desired family in attendance, as well as her bio dad walking her down the aisle. NTA. Great opportunity though to help your daughter prepare for marriage, as she needs to understand that no one should be allowed to try and divide husband, wife. You are a package deal, and while she obviously wants to disrespect that bond, you will not now, nor was it your choice years ago when her mom chose to do so. Blaming a woman who came along years after the dissolution of your marriage is also ridiculously immature. NTA. Your ex divorced you. You need to tell your daughter that. Ask her why she punishing you for moving on when that's what her mother wanted and did herself. Stick to your guns here. If you were my husband, I would encourage you to go to your daughter's wedding on your own. If anyone were to ask where your wife and children are, you would tell them they weren't invited. NTA. But there is an opportunity here to be the bigger person and show your daughter that you support her. Despite the obstacles, it may lead toward rebuilding your relationship. It may not, but at least you will have tried. NTA. An invitation is a request, not a demand. I scrolled in the comments to see if you had replied, because it does seem like there is missing information in your post, but based off of your responses and the post itself, I would absolutely say NTA.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.